How you doing? I'm working on this 371 of Buckins. Test fitting, finishing. Got that old cylinder cleaned up. Really nice. I tell you, these sonic cleaners are really the whole thing. They had so much carbon inside, it was ridiculous. Looks pretty darn good now. Nice transfers. Um, what I've done is I've matched my intake to my boot. You always got to take a little bit off here so that it don't have a lip there. So I done that. I did not alter the intake timing. You see right there on the floor of that intake, which is right there. I did not touch that. Didn't have to. It was dry 156. It'll settle at 155 probably. The transfers didn't touch the uppers and couldn't. It was already dry at 121 from top dead center is where they open. So I didn't want to. I normally would angle them up just a little bit, but it's going to be fine. It's a work saw. This is more of a restoration. It's not a hot rod per se, but I'm expecting really good things out of this. Got my exhaust work done. I got my roof raised where I think I'm on it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to put this cylinder on. I've still got to do the bearings, and the saw's filthy, so it's a great time to clean the cases and everything done. But I think what we're going to do is give that old ancient carburetor, that HD6 Walboro, a chance. Well, I'll even take it apart. Let's just see. Normally that doesn't work out. It's not the thing to do. I am going to put the cylinder on. And let's just see if we can make it at least pop. I want to hear it run. I put actually quite a bit of time in this so far. So I'm going to take you off camera, clean things up here just a little bit on my base gasket. I'm not using a base gasket. I'm using Motosail. Proper transfers for this particular build. They're going to be really nice. I'm quite happy with that. Let's just see where this all goes. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to hunt around for a few things that was missing with this. When you get them tore apart, inspect it. I've got the carburetor on. Linkage is hooked up. It acts like we got to rebuild the carb, but it was acting like the throttle was wanting to hang open a little bit, so a little bit of blaster. I mean, this carb, God knows when the last thing was taken apart. I got no clue, but so let's not expect too much right today. This is just a lark. I just want to see. Yeah, you never get lucky with a carb, but you never know. Give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I did get. Actually, this is the little bluey muffler that I had on my 90cc 365. My air hose is leaking so damn bad. I got a new one right in the trunk of the car, and it didn't fix it. I don't know what happened. I mean, I thought it would. Okay, so what I need is a handle and some handle bolts. I got an idea that they're missing the little bit bigger bolt that goes in that spring. So I'm gonna dig around and get, and then I'm gonna use the bolts that came with the saw. So set that down. You spend as much time hunting for stuff to build these old girls that as you do working on them. I'm going to tell you that right now. we're going to have bolt holes that need repairing. I know that. And, but I tell you what, it's been quite a while since I worked on a saw. And I thought maybe if I got, it'd get my enthusiasm up if I at least heard one pop a little bit. Make me think things are going to go all right after all. Okay. Now I need another bolt. And another one. I've got a brand new full wrap Husqvarna handle for this for bucking. And we'll give that a go. Hope you all have been well. Things are good here. Barb's doing much better. She I didn't say a word on the channel, but she'd been in the hospital there with AFib, atrial fibrillation again, and atrial flutter. It was pretty hard on her, and she hates hospitals, but she don't hate them as bad as I do. They check me in once I get where I'm not unconscious. I want to go home once I wake up. I'm sure there's a few of you out there the same darn way. I'm probably going to find out that I should have put this bolt in first, but I didn't do it. Generally, it'll go right in. Now, that one that goes in the springs, the one I'm working on right now, you'll know real fast if you got the wrong bolt. You could actually put this in the handle. Don't do that. It'll ruin your hole. But if you try to use one of these handle bolts, it just kind of acts like it's stripped or something. It won't tighten up. Just slightly so different. Which kind of amazes me because it would have been nice if they were just all the same. That's with a decomp. It's going to be fine. It's going to be really easy. I'll tell you what I did. These have a little different oil and gas cap than the later ones. And I put it on the bench here somewhere. I got one of the original ones for 371. And like I said, I put it out. Boy, that might have been a mistake putting this on the bench. This is what I do. I paw and dig till I find what I want. It'd be just way easy to put everything back where it belongs. Then I would never find nothing. Okay, I might have carried that dang thing off. I mean, you'll find it. I had to get my bin, get one of the new style. Boy, don't that suck. I got her. It's right here, or over there, or over there, or some damn where. But I've got the right gas cap for this. It's not that important, but since how I got it, we're going to use it. Okay, now I got to prime this up. I did put a little gas in it. Strange as it may seem, I am seeing gas right here in this little package tray under the carb. I've got a feeling it's coming out of the bottom of the carb. But you can, it don't got no gas in that. Okay. We'll play a silly game. Let's choke it. I got it like 1 1/8 turn out on the low jet, 1 full turn on the high jet. We're going to have this carb apart, you know that. So I just want to hear it fire. I don't hear nothing. It's not pulling gas up. A little bit down the curb, eh? course, we don't know if the plug's any good. Well, I run that long. My chain brake was on. Okay, chain brake's off. I could put a little more gas down it, or I could give it a shot. Let's see. I don't think the carb is able to pull gas, because normally once you fire them, they just go ahead and run. Let's choke it and give it a try. Okay. Well, see, this is what happens when you don't do. See, we knew we had to work on this carb, but we don't care. We'll do it. It's not that big a deal, but it's dang sure not getting gas. And I just have a feeling it's not gonna. But I'm waiting on the kit. I don't have a kit. And as old as this carb is, I'm kind of afraid that without a kit, it's like that, we're going to take it apart and we'll put it back together, because the gasket's going to be bad. Yeah, we'll take the carb off. We might as well see if we can do it without a kit, eh? The one thing I need to do is make sure I'm getting fuel from my tank before I take the carb apart. I know the carb's got to come apart. You know too. It's got to come apart. Getting fuel. That's good fuel. 110 VP, high octane. You don't have that nasty burn. It just tastes kind of sweet, like caramel, you know. Okay, I gotta set this down. Get me a couple paper towels. Can we make this thing run or not? All I gotta wait is a few days or a week or something, and I'll have the kit. I was kind of hoping I had one. No cigar, didn't have one. It wouldn't hurt so bad to do a vacuum check either. On the impulse, make sure that was okay, but it looked good, everything. The impulse line looked pretty nice, and it fit tight, so I'm going to assume that's good. By God, that came right off. Nothing to see here. I got to change glasses. This is what I do all day long. I just change glasses. This is a side that'll be the culprit. I just want to make it go. Little update on that 90cc. getting close to putting that back together. I'm not so sure that our sleeve idea on that one's going to work long term because, as you remember, I told you the sleeve fell out and we pinned it back in. But upon further inspection, I seen some galling in that sleeve that I didn't like. Looks you can work them around with a little razor blade. Just be really careful, and you'll get them apart if they're not stuck horrible. But be careful. By God, well, there's one problem. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I guess this was one of them deals you take the jets out and see where you're at, isn't it? That one's clear. I kind of expected it to be low jet plugged, the low circuit, and I'm a little surprised that that wasn't plugged. But generally, when you goose them, if the low circuit's plugged, it'll still try to run on the high circuit. Okay. We're sprayed everywhere. Okay, that means we got a carb. Welch plugs need to be pulled out. What we might have is a pinhole in the gas line. That's one thing, is you can siphon with your human vacuum through one that's got a pinhole, but you can't with impulse. It won't do it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's just see what we got here. Okay, we're clear there. Okay, guys, that carb should have worked. We got to really, I mean, I could have blew a chunk of crap out of that. Yeah, it's part of the game. I could have blew a chunk of crap out of that just now. But let me, I'm going to turn you off just a minute and get this put back together. Okay, we have a good impulse. It's just where it's supposed to be. That's kind of easy to check. What I've got going on with this saw, and this is why when you work on these, buy impulse line, buy a fuel line, and a fuel filter. So, I've got a fuel line coming. I don't have it here, but there isn't even a question in my mind that the fuel line has got a pinhole in it. We can blow through the gas tank and get fuel come right up through it. But you can't get the impulse to pull fuel because it has a leak. And so that's telling me that's probably when they pinched it to pull it up through the tank, right there, that developed a leak. It is what it is. So I've got to change the fuel line. I'm going to dig around because, by God, it seemed like I had some of that line. And but I got some coming, so I'm not too concerned with that. The earmarks at this point, you can't tell a whole lot, but it definitely is going to run nice. That's one thing I guarantee I can do. It's going to run nice. Okay, now where we're at with this 90cc build is I remachined another piston. This cylinder, I'm not so sure that's going to work with that liner in there, quite honestly, guys. I think I might go another direction, and I just got to see if I can. That liner, I think, is going egg-shaped. I really honestly do. And I can tell by how much it's run that I've got spots that piston's not coming in contact, and I've got other spots that it's seriously coming in contact. So I think we got a problem. I really do. So I have another unique build if that this isn't the way to go. What it is, we haven't left any material of the cylinder in around the transfers here on each side, and it's just front and back is all that it's actually holding it, and down in further. So what it's doing is, I think that's just as the heat changes things, it's just moving around, and that's quite a thin liner. This was almost an impossible thing to do with a 50 millimeter bore cylinder, is make it 56. Dino Joe did it for me, done a heck of a nice job. And when he seen what we had, he said, I don't know, Harvey, I don't think it's going to work. It might not work. I said, well, let's give it a shot. Let's try. Let's just see. You don't get an omelet without breaking a few eggs, do you? You don't. So we're going to put it back together. I got to change the intake timing. It's a little long. I'm going to do that. We'll put it back together. And we're gonna just see what it does. There isn't any real problem with the cylinder yet, but it just might become one. I think I had calculated the piston wall clearance, and I actually on this piston took a little extra off, guys, so that it passes the drop test. Plus a little bit. It's got just a little extra room. I gave it another 3/1000ths, maybe 2/1000ths, right in there. It depends on where you measure on the cylinders, what the difference is, guys. So we're gonna just see what happens. That's all we can do. Now I'll tell you another thing is I'm running a 395 carburetor on it. I think that's just a little much for that, maybe. Other than it runs so darn good, it really does. I might put a 390 carburetor on this, which I've got a couple new ones. There before I got sick last, or well, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, with AFib, I bought a bunch of carbs and a bunch of intakes, and I bought all kinds of stuff I thought I might need or didn't know if I need or not. That's what I did, and because this is a journey making these 372 chassis into a much bigger CC saw that I really, really want to pursue. We've got several successful 86ers done. That's not a boring one to build, and it's dang sure not boring to run. But I have something else in mind. And I actually got a Weisco cylinder for one cylinder that I really don't want to use until I know I got it right. You know, I'd rather wreck one of these cast pistons that we get rather than to wreck a good Weisco on. It's an experiment. We know it's just an experiment. But guys, I think we're gonna have a nice saw here. I really do. I think it's gonna be just lovely. No, I didn't expect it to really start. I just had that feeling, and it kind of it does when you pour gas down it, and so we're just gonna see where this lands. Give me a few days on this one. Let me get some parts. I'll move on to something else for a little bit, and then we're gonna come back and revisit this. That, or I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I know to do. Take it right back apart. I wanted to dial it in, run it just a little bit here on the bench, take it apart, inspect it, see where we're at, make sure everything's good, and then do the bottom end. But I might just tangle right into it, do the bottom end. It needs doing anyway. Well, it doesn't need it. The bearings feel nice. They really do. But I think that I would be money ahead just putting new ones in, then I know. Because I can tell you right now, it's got the original gasket in the case and for this saw, and it has not been apart. So this has never had bearings put in it. So this is something we're going to do. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Get right in the comments. Talk to me, guys. Let me know what you're up to. And let me know what you think of this. I think it's going to be a really, really fun saw to run. It's going to be a dang sure be a good work saw. Okay, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.